Son of a bitch! Okay, you can't make this up. So this is the same week. This is after 6 days I was working on my heater core, and if you have not seen that video you can check it out. So I replaced my heater core because it was leaking, and this is what we did, and I just have it off so I see if it leaks, and we got some leak, and then I tightened those clamps even more, and now it's been fine. I drove it to work on Wednesday. I had the one more drop, and I hope it's gonna stop. If not, I'm gonna tighten those clamps even more. But I took it to work one day. I'm still on the heater core, and then I came out to work at the end of the day, and I turned the key, and it cranks, and it doesn't start. And I'm like, no way, what's now? What's now? So I cranked second times, it doesn't start. And oh, this is cracked. What is this? And I'm really disappointed. So I tried again, third time, and it started. Like, okay, at least I can get home. So it started, I left and drove home, and then I got the check engine light. And this exact scenario happened a few months ago, right after I picked this up from a shop, after I got DOD delete, and then it went away. So I said maybe it was a tuning or something, but it was retuned on a dyno after this. Now it happened again. I scanned the code, and it was P0340 or something. I will show it on a screen. It has two codes, which says Camshaft position sensor, and this is the same code as a few months ago. After the DOD delete was done, and after I picked this up from a shop. So I said, okay, it's now, I'm sure it's a camshaft position sensor, so I'm just gonna replace it. And I was gonna order it, and then I said, okay, let me see where it is. No, I figured out it was on a timing chain cover, which is up front of the engine right here. And I was gonna order it, and then it was getting dark already, and I'm like, let me take a look and figure out if I can even see it, or if I can even get to it. So I went digging, and I found it. Actually, it's right here on if I can show you where it is, right after this bolt there is a white thing right there. This is a camshaft position sensor, and I'm like, okay, this is where it is, so it should not be that difficult to remove. And then I saw a cable, I saw a wire right here. It was like this, and it was touching this belt. And I said, okay, wait a second, what is this wire? Why is this touching the belt? So I lifted it, and it turns out this is actually a cable that goes to camshaft position sensor, and it was touching the pulley right here, and it's worn out right there. And I will show you once I unplug this, and because we're going to fix it now. And then I'm like, why is this? So I figure out this one, where it should be held, right up here. There is a hole, and it should be held right up there. I don't know, it's kind of hard to show this. This is where it is. This is where it plugs in, so it keeps away from the belt and pulleys. And this one came out when the job was done by the shop, by the way, and it was broken. This thing that holds it, it's broken, and so they never secured it, so it was left loose here and it was just rubbing against the port. And we are going to fix this now. I went ahead and did not order sensor anymore. I went ahead and ordered the plug itself, so we can cut it and splice it here, so we have a new wire, and then we are going to secure it. And I'm going to unplug this stuff now and take a close look. Okay, so I unplugged it, and this is what it looks like. I unplugged all of this. This is 4 plugs, entire harness that's on this tree, and I want to fix all of this because this is the old brittle plastic that just breaks every time you touch it. It's broken in many places, so I want to replace this with a nice shiny insulation, and this is what it looks like. So it was rubbing right there, and then this was probably touching each other and shorting out. So I'm gonna cut this and install a new connector. This entire connector will be replaced with a new one, which I have right here. And I'm gonna compare it, make sure I have it's the same exact one, which I know it is, but still. Old and new, exactly the same. Now that we removed the cover, this is what it looks like. Okay, this is what we have now. Okay, I'm using those to connect those wires. I I think those should fit. Yes. And this is also a heat shrink. This is too small. Okay, this is what it looks like. We melted this together, and now we're going to use heat shrink to secure it. This is what it looks like now, and I can guarantee you this is not going anywhere. I'm gonna use a heat shrink now to protect them even more, and then we're gonna start taping it up and making them looking safe and beautiful. And that's it, now it's done. It's all safe and secure with a heat shrink too. And before I put all of the tape on it, I want to actually start the car and test and make sure it works. I don't feel like plugging everything in and then unplugging again, but it's better to just test it and not have to redo this connector or anything else. So I'm gonna just plug everything back, start the car, test it, make sure everything works, and we will continue covering this up. Everything is plugged in. I'm gonna go and plug in battery now, and then I'm gonna start. Okay, started up and it's running fine. There is no check engine lights for now because battery was disconnected, so codes are clear. And for that we will have to wait and see, just drive around. First of all, I want to remove all the old tape. put new tape on. And I don't just use a regular electrical tape. I will actually show what I use. Okay, all tape have been removed, old one, and what I use is this one. This is not electrical tape, it's different. It's more heat resistant, and it looks nice and professional, and I really like it. Anytime I touch any wires nowadays, I use this tape because it's really great. Okay, this is what we ended up with. We have a nice, beautiful insulated wires, but this is not how we are leaving it, obviously. We have this cable wire loom, beautiful protective piece, which is heat resistant, and it's gonna protect wires, and it's gonna look very nice and professional. So let's get to work. is our result, and it looks better than it was before. Obviously it's not the most professionally done, but most of this is not seen anyways, so I think it is more than enough. So I will just plug this stuff in, make sure it's secure now and it doesn't touch anything, and then call it a day. I have to already modify it because this one was just too close to each other, these two, so I needed more slack, so I needed to separate this until here. So yeah, I did not remember exactly where was the split, and I made a mistake, which always happens, but it can be corrected very easily. Okay, everything is plugged in and nice and tight, and this is muff sensor plugged in here, and that is our camshaft position sensor down there, and cables are pretty tight and they are not gonna go anywhere, and this is never gonna move enough to touch this belt again. So this is all safe, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one over here for just some extra safety, even though it doesn't really need it, it's pretty tight already. This looks like it's about to break anyways, but I'm just going to put it to see if it holds up for a little bit. Locked in, nice and tight. That's beautiful. Now we can put this on, and it stretched it, so yeah, no, this is not necessary. Because this is pulling it down. Now we have some movement, it's not too tight and stretched. So that's it. We are all set today. Whew, I really needed to do this because I have an appointment this week in exhaust shop, and I really need to drive this and take it there.